Hi guys, I am coming to you today, this afternoon. I am going to be making a New York style cheesecake in the quick cooker. I love to bake and cook, obviously, and you don't just need the quick cooker to make awesome meals in no time, but you can also make dessert. So I'm making a cheesecake today. What I have in here already started is the graham cracker crumb. So it's a package of graham crackers, a quarter teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, and 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm using the silicone measuring bowls because you can put anything in here and melt it in the microwave. I'm gonna add that. All right, and then I'm gonna just kind of mix this all up. So it's a nice fall day today. It's beautiful out. I have some peace and quiet, which is kind of unheard of, especially for my work day, my personal day. All right. I'm a mom of 2 kids that are 6 and 3, and they keep me extremely busy. I'm sure if you have kids, you can relate. We have soccer practice tonight in a couple hours, and we are totally busy all the time. So this quick cooker that I'm using, I make usually, you guys have seen my videos, and I make a lot of dinners in no time. It's quick and easy, just set it and forget it type of thing. And now I'm making dessert. The one thing that I'm going to point out when you make dessert, especially, so you need a special springform pan for the quick cooker. Okay, this one I did not get from there, but I did buy it online, so I bought it separately. You can get it through Pampered. They have their own version. I just happen to have this one because I had it when I had my Instant Pot, because I do actually have both. So you can do this in both. Okay, so when you're done, your graham cracker crust should look like that. And I'm just gonna pour that into my springform pan that I actually sprayed so that it won't stick. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. All right, and then I'm just going to pat it all down. Okay, I'm just gonna move you over so you can see me. It makes a smaller cheesecake if you're using the quick cooker. It's about the same size as my Instant Pot, and my Instant Pot's a 6-quart. You could get a bigger pan if you have a bigger thing. All right, so the thing is when you're going around to make your cheesecake, you're pressing down, making it nice and firm and tight. And if a little bit goes up on the edges, that's okay too, because I'm sure you guys have all had cheesecake where you've had crust that comes up on the side, and that always makes it better too. If you wanted to do like an Oreo crust, you would just do Oreo cookies smashed, or like chocolate wafer cookies. You could do chocolate graham crackers, and you would do kind of the same format as far as the melted butter and the salt and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this. Okay. I'm gonna stick this in the freezer to kind of set while I make my filling for the cheesecake. All right, I'm gonna rinse my hands. I don't know about you guys, but if you have a freezer like me, it's always packed and full, so I have to kind of make room for it, which is always hard to do. So I'm gonna kind of stick it in here. All right, perfect. I had just enough room. Okay, so while that's in the freezer, kind of just firming up, I'm gonna take my cream cheese. And for cheesecake, you really can't skimp on the kind of cream cheese that you use. So Philadelphia is really the way to go. My husband makes jalapeno poppers, and he swears by having to use the real stuff too. I typically really don't care half the time what I'm using as long as it's, you know, on sale. But there's some times where you just can't skimp, and Philadelphia is the way to go. All right, so you need 2 packages of Philadelphia cream cheese, which comes out to be 16 ounces total. And I'm just going to open them up. And you want these softened. So I'm going to open these. So we're almost at Halloween. Halloween's about a week and a half away. So that's exciting. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Let's get rid of all this. Halloween's always been one of my favorite holidays. Of course, I love Christmas and Thanksgiving and, you know, all of that, but I have always loved Halloween. So I've always done lots of baking and cooking around the holiday of Halloween. My kids are getting ready to go trick-or-treating, and we live in an awesome neighborhood for that. Okay, so let me just stick these. I'm actually gonna, so if you're looking, I have all the different sizes of the silicone microwavable measuring cups. They're awesome because you can put anything in them. You can put them in the microwave. All right, so we're gonna stick the cream cheese in here because we're just gonna kind of soften it a bit so it's easier to mix our filling. Okay, bear with me a minute, guys. All right, so I'm just gonna stick all the cream cheese in here. And just put that aside here. Okay, and I'm gonna just put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. It'll be just enough to soften it. Okay, so let's stick it in here for 30 seconds. Okay, and then when it comes out, I'm just gonna rinse out this bowl real quick that I used for my graham crackers. I usually use my mixing batter bowl, but today I'm not because I don't know how many ingredients that I'm gonna be putting in, and I have to use a whisk, and I'm kind of weird like that. Like I'm not really, so I'm just using a regular bowl today. Regular bowl. Okay. So my cream cheese should be softened. I'm gonna stick my cream cheese in here. And I'm gonna grab my small spatula, my mix and scraper here. And I'm just gonna get all of the rest of that out. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get that out and stick it here. Stick that over there. Okay, and now I need 2/3 a cup of white sugar. I'm sure you guys all have like cabinets that kind of look like mine and get a little messy, so I apologize for that. And I keep my sugar and flour in little containers. So we need 2/3 of a cup. I probably own like a million different kinds of, all right, so make it level. That's 1/3 and 2/3. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm sorry guys, I wasn't prepared before I did my video. Usually I get everything kind of organized, but you know what, I just kind of decided I was doing this kind of on the fly, so I didn't really plan. All right, so 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Cornstarch will kind of make it creamy, more delicious. And I'm just gonna kind of make sure it's nice and even. So we're getting into the holidays, so this is a good thing to make, and it's way easier and faster to do it in the Instant Pot or your quick cooker. Like I said, I personally, now that I'm in Pampered Chef, I do a lot with the quick cooker. It's actually, I find it actually a little bit easier. Okay. All right. So, let me stick this away. All right. And then we want another 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Sometimes I get messy with my salt. So I typically like to pour it over the sink so that I'm not pouring it all into my dessert, and then we have a really salty dessert. So that's just me. And then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'll be coming to you guys live for Christmas cookies coming up, because that is one of my favorite memories. And being that my kids love to cook with me, especially Lydia, it's something fun that I can do with her. Okay, and then 1/2 cup of sour cream. So I'm just gonna rinse out this little silicone bowl here, this measuring cup, so that I can look at my sour cream. So one of my favorite memories growing up is Christmas cookies at the holidays with my mom. And obviously I'm now down here in Connecticut and my mom is in Massachusetts, so I don't get a chance to do a whole lot, but we do try to get together every year at Christmas. I mean, I obviously see my mom regularly, but as far as like baking, we don't always have the time to do it. But I do try to set apart time to do Christmas baking with my mom, and especially now that Lydia's older, definitely going to be doing that this year as well. All right, so we're going to do 1/2 cup of sour cream. I got the bigger sour cream, guys, because I'm going to make this different topping, and it also requires sour cream. So I'm going to use a smaller silicone measuring bowl. And where's my hand? My 1/2 cup is right there. So what's nice is that you can actually see it. Okay. Here we go. All right. There we go. Okay. And I'll put that away in a minute. And then we're going to just stick this inside. Guys, this is super fast, super easy. The longest part of this whole cheesecake in your quick cooker is refrigeration to make it ready. Okay. So we're going to do that. And all right. So I've got everything in here so far. You need 2 beaten eggs. So I'm going to grab 2 eggs. And you want to beat them first before you put them in. So I'm going to reuse this one here. And I'm just going to beat my eggs before I add them to my cheesecake mixture. Funny fact is Mason is amazing at cracking eggs. He never gets shells. And if you ask him about it, he will tell you that. He's one of those very proud people about that. Okay, so I'm going to grab my whisk. Okay, I'm going to whisk up and beat up my eggs real quick. You want them nice and beaten before you stick them in with your cheesecake mixture. so they're nice and beaten up. All right, so that looks pretty good. These little bowls are like so nice because if you're gonna melt chocolate or you're gonna melt coconut oil, you're gonna melt butter, they're really easy. Okay, so then I'm going to put that all in there, like so. Okay, perfect. All right, now you're gonna whisk everything all up. And hopefully we softened our cream cheese enough. I don't usually use a whisk, but I actually read somewhere that it was easier to mix cream cheese and cheesecake mixture with a whisk. So it's my first time, guys, using a whisk for this, so we're getting there. Now, I'm making just a general, simple cheesecake, just your run-of-the-mill New York style cheesecake. It's going to come with like a glaze to the top of it. You can add like cherries or strawberries or anything like that to the top of your cheesecake. Where did I put my... I did have my spatula, my mini spatula. I don't know where it went to. Okay. Now see, you could be a disorganized baker just like me. Usually I'm not. And I'm going to find it. Oh, I found it. And I'm just going to wash it off real quick. This thing is amazing. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to, see, you can be like me and make a mess. I'm usually not messy, but every now and then it happens. I'm usually one of those people who, while I'm baking and cooking, I'm constantly cleaning up at the same time, which is kind of funny. And one of my girlfriends, we used to bake together, and she used to be the complete opposite. She would make a mess while she was cooking and baking, and she was like, there's no need in cleaning it all up when I'm gonna make a mess. All right, so I'm going to continue to whisk and get this nice and smooth, and we're almost there. Not nice and smooth and creamy. If you didn't get your workout in today, here you go. This is a good idea. Okay. Almost done. So drop me a line, tell me what you guys' favorite part of the holidays is, because I feel like once Halloween comes in a week and a half, it's going to be crazy all holiday, all day, every day. It's going to be all about Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'm not ready to decorate for Christmas yet, although I love it. I don't usually typically start decorating for Christmas until right after my birthday, and right after Thanksgiving. And it's my big birthday this year, guys. I'm going to be 40, so I'm super excited about it. I know some people aren't usually excited when it comes to their birthday, especially if they're hitting like a big number such as 40, but I feel like I am in an awesome spot in my life where I'm super happy with everything I've got, which is really awesome because you have to be happy with what you have in life, and you should be grateful. I'm lucky to have an awesome husband and 2 awesome kids and a job that I really like, which doesn't really feel like a job, not all the time, but I have awesome patience and I love helping people. So this year is kind of the year of reflecting, sort of, and coming to one where I know I'm really kind of happy about life, and not that I was never happy about life, because I've always been happy, And then I think if you're a nurse, you kind of see people come and go, quite literally. And you have to enjoy all of your moments because you never know when they could go. All right. There we go. So we're pretty smooth in here. I'm just going to do a couple more minutes here, get around the edges. I'm kind of happy with how the whisk is working. Like I said, I mean, I've been baking and cooking for a long time. It doesn't mean that I am a pro by any means, or that I am super good at every utensil, because that is not the case. And you don't have to be awesome at everything to be an awesome cook or baker. There's so many people out there that are self-taught, and that's almost better. And I'd like to say that my mom actually taught me most of the things that I learned, and then I kind of just picked up as a hobby and enjoyed it from there. Okay, so we've got our mixture done. So I'm gonna put all of my dirty stuff in the sink. Okay, so we are good with all of this. So we're going to pour this right into our crust. So I'm gonna take that out of the freezer. Okay, here we go. All right, so it's kind of cold, and we are going to empty our cheesecake mixture into our graham cracker crust. Okay. Yummy, yummy, yummy. If you have any left over, I'm sure what you could do is make little mini ones if you wanted. All right, so that's about full there. Okay. All right, so here we go. There's our cheesecake. It's nice in there. And I just stepped, obviously, on some batter. Okay, so let me just wash my hands real quick, and we'll get right back to it. Because obviously, like I said, I can get messy sometimes. All right. Okay, I'm going to explain something super quick to you guys. Since I'm using the quick cooker, or if you're using the Instant Pot, whatever one you are using, or any pressure cooker for that matter, you have the ring, the inside ring. Okay, this gets smelly. So I suggest if you don't have an extra one, you can buy them on Amazon, you can buy them anywhere. What I do, and unfortunately, no matter how much you clean them, they still kind of take on the smell of whatever you're cooking. So I have a clear one for my everyday making food and stuff like that. And I actually bought two others. And they came as red and blue. I didn't pick the colors, but they came in a package of red and blue. So I always change out, and I use the red one for making desserts or sweets. That way my cheesecake doesn't smell like the chicken I made the other day, and my chicken doesn't taste or like cheesecake. So I just switch them out based on what I'm making, and it's a good habit to do. Okay. So I'm just gonna move my cheesecake over. I'm gonna stick it up here for a second. All right, so here's my pot. It's my quick cooker. All right, and I'm just gonna stick it here, guys. All right, so what we are going to do, now it comes with a trivet like this, so with legs. I'll move you over a little bit so you can see me. Okay, with legs. I know I went through this when I'm cooking food. If you're making something that needs to be above the water, because when you're pressure cooking, you need to put water in order to cook it. So if you're making chicken, you don't want to be shredded or anything like that. You would put it on top of the trivet and then put your water in underneath. So it kind of keeps it above the water. This comes with the quick cooker. It has handles. This is what's nice about Pampered Chef. So what you do is you would stick your cheesecake pan in this lovely thing. And now you can lower it down into the pot. But before I do that, guys, I do have to add water. So I'm going to add, all you do is add a cup of water. That's what you need in order to have the pressure start. If you're using a larger one, it's only 1 cup. Okay, so 1 cup of water. And then you're going to stick. Now, some places say you should cover your cheesecake with foil. Others say you don't have to. See, it's really your preference. There's only going to be a little bit of condensation anyways from cooking from the lid, so it's not really that crazy of a deal. Okay, so I stuck my cheesecake in there. Like I said, I did swap out my ring. So the red one is what I use for my desserts or sweets. So that way my cheesecake doesn't smell like the chicken I made the other day. All right. And I'm going to make sure that everything is sealed, and it is. And I am going to hit pressure. And I am going to do 28 minutes. And in 28 minutes, what I'm going to do is take out the cheesecake. Well, I'm sorry, I lied. 28 minutes to cook the cheesecake in the pressure cooker, in my quick cooker. And then what I'm going to do is let it natural release, which means I will not hit the sealant. So I'm not going to let the steam out right then. And I'm going to let it kind of depressurize for 10 minutes before I open it. And then I'm going to open it up. I'm going to just kind of, whatever dampness is on the top of the cheesecake, I'm just going to blot off. And then I'm going to stick it in the freezer. And then I'm going to make my topping. So I will come back when this is done. All right. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, guys. I'll see you in a bit.